Welcome back to our live show. Sometimes we can all use a pep talk or something that gets us energized. We like to feature a fresh new topic for our Motivational Monday series. Wherever you go, there you are, so build the best you possible. Award-winning writing coach and author Stacy Hawkins Adams leads our conversation on this Motivational Monday. Hi, Stacy. It's so great to have you here.
Good morning.
So as we are talking about this topic of the day, what is it and how can we embrace it and bring it to life?
Yeah, be wherever you are. That means to be present fully where you are, be authentic fully where you are. And I think with this season we're going into with elections and decision making and everybody having their own opinions, grant uncommon grace where you are. So when I think about being present where we are, we are all often attached to our phones, and even myself, when I enter a space or I'm hanging out with a friend, I want to get that selfie in. But then take the time to put the phone away and be fully present with your family, your friends, or your children, or whatever space you're in.
I recently read an article about just that, in that folks are so interested these days in taking the selfie or recording maybe their child's school play or their graduation, that they actually kind of miss it because they are more interested in getting the picture. So let's just use our eyes again and see that and experience it and then make those memories.
Exactly. When you're really present, you really do get to really focus on the memories. It's sort of like when you drive across Skyline Drive in the southwest part of Virginia, where you see the leaves falling and the different colors of the leaves. You really have to be present to notice the beauty in nature. And so just bring that into your everyday life. Take that moment to the stranger who's checking you out, the cashier who's checking you out. Have a real conversation and be present in that moment. Be present in the moment when you're driving down the road listening to your favorite song.
We are all still human, and we need that human connection. I've done that recently when I was shopping, at a retail store, and I engaged the person who was checking me out, and they almost seemed surprised that somebody was actually listening to them talk and making that conversation. That can move someone and get them through a day or a week or a month or whatever season that they're going through. That might be a challenge.
Very, very true, which is why it's also important to be authentic where you are. And by that I mean, often, we often talk about social media and how it's a highlight reel and you see the best of the best. But who are we when no one's looking? Who are we when we're not posting the pictures or shooting the live video? Who are we when we're interacting with that cashier or the grocery store clerk who may not be in the best mood? How do we, take a deep breath, exhibit some uncommon grace? Or there's some choice we need to make, and how do we lean into our values and that integrity that we know is our foundation, even when it's a difficult choice to make?
I think during COVID, we all sort of got into that more authentic self. I mean, think about it. I go back and I think about those first few Zoom meetings that I had in 2020 where I was a wreck because I was at home being a mom. I was, trying to learn this new technology and everything else. But then we came out of the pandemic and we're sort of back to what we had been before. How can we maybe tap into that, authentic self and present that while also, having on the lipstick and the hairbrush too?
Right. That's a great point, because a lot of times in those Zooms we would be scrambling to put the lipstick on and have our yoga pants on too.
Yep.
So that full authentic self. I think it's really just remembering kind of what we talked a little bit about last week. What are your values? Who are you within? Who do you want to be? And that's maybe even a challenge to yourself, because we opened with talking about being where you are, but being a better you. So that might be thinking about 10 years from now, who's the person I want to be? A year from now, where do I want to be? And what are those things I need to get there? Is that making the choice to do something hard versus taking the easy path? Is it standing up for something that's right when the crowd may be doing something opposite of that? So who do you ultimately want to be at night? When you go to sleep at night, are you pleased with the person you've been during the day?
How can we take this message and not just embrace it ourselves, but then have our loved ones doing this too? How can we do that and just really be ambassadors for this kind of a Motivational Monday?
Yeah, I think being the best ambassador is modeling it for them. When they see us making those wise choices, when they see us taking that breath, when they see us granting that uncommon grace that we talked about a moment ago. And uncommon grace, we've talked about being kind. This is almost practicing radical kindness. This is understanding that someone may think differently than you, may not handle a situation the same as you. Maybe that person has made a mistake, or maybe it's someone you need to have a critical conversation with. How do you exhibit the uncommon grace? You're modeling it for those around you, but also you're giving those around you the opportunity to model it back or give it back to you.
How can you also offer yourself that grace? Is that an
Absolutely.
important part of the formula too?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that because you're modeling it or you're giving it to yourself, it allows you to give it to others. When you realize that, you didn't quite get it right, okay, tomorrow's another day. But when giving it to yourself does mean sometimes having those courageous conversations where you may be calling someone to say, I didn't get it right, I apologize, or can you grant me grace? So that's giving it to yourself, but also, again, helping others share it with you as well.
I love that because, as we are all navigating life, not every moment is necessarily a high.
Right.
So if you are able to, I guess, forgive yourself and then forgive others and then just have that conversation about how we can do it better next time, that keeps this cycle of positivity going.
Right, right. And maybe don't take ourselves so seriously. Certainly we need to take things seriously, our work and things of that nature. But when you can laugh at yourself and say, you know what? That was not the A+ Stacy today. That was probably C- Stacy, but that's okay. She still passed, and we're going to give her another chance tomorrow. So sometimes don't take yourself so seriously, and that allows you to still experience joy in the midst of whatever's going on around you.
Maybe one day I will show up as my COVID self, putting on my earrings as I'm getting ready for the show and everything else, and then just kind of keep that, hey, this is just me. This is who I am today.
I love that.
Mantra.
Let's do that together. We'll show up the top half. We've got our makeup, our earrings, and we've got our yoga pants on. Let's do that.
Let's do it. That will be another motivation.
Yeah, exactly.
Stacy, always such a pleasure to talk to you. I feel like this is just a great way that we can get our Mondays off to a great start and then keep it going for the week.
Exactly.
Until next time, friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
If you'd like to subscribe to Stacy's Monday motivational emails she sends out, just visit StacyHawkinsAdams.com.